Hello, book lovers, and welcome to Book Talk Radio Club. My name is Claire Perkins, and today I'm talking to author Erin Thornton. Erin has just published her third book, Disaster in Love, a romantic comedy. Sam is just a girl like everyone else. She wants to make it through life with minimum hiccups, but her mother is desperate for grandchildren. She understands, but unfortunately, she hasn't met Mr. Right yet. In an effort to please her mother, she decides to amp up her dating life. Unfortunately, Sam suffers from a dating curse. No matter who she chooses to date, there's something terribly wrong with them. From baby fetishes, strange sexual fantasies, Elvis impersonators, crazy divorcees, and so many more. Can Sam keep her sanity whilst enduring each of these dates, or will she give up on making her mother happy by finding her happily ever after? Hi, Erin. First of all, welcome, and thank you for coming back on Book Talk Radio Club.
I'm glad to be back. Thank you.
Sam suffers from a dating curse. I think we've all been through those from time to time. I had a particularly bad date many years ago when a clip-in, very long ponytail I was wearing had an up-close and personal experience with a candle. And well, that's all I'm saying. What was your worst dating experience?
Well, to be perfectly honest, without giving too much away, this book is actually based off of a lot of my own personal experiences.
I've got to read it then.
And, well, since every date in Disaster in Love is based off of an actual date that's happened to maybe my own or from some stories that I heard in passing from friends, it makes it a little bit more fun for the reader knowing it actually happened and isn't just a figment of my imagination.
There's nothing stranger than truth, is there? Let's face it. So tell
Right.
us about Sam. What kind of girl is she?
Sam is a very fun and self-empowered person. She knows what she wants and she's not going to settle. But unfortunately, she does have a bad habit that I know a lot of us have, is she's very much a people pleaser.
Mm-hmm.
She wants to make everyone around her happy and not hurt anybody's feelings, her mother most of all. Her mom wants grandkids, and Sam honestly just wants her mom off her back.
Chick lit is very popular, as are chick lit movies. Is there a particular book or movie that inspired you to write Disaster in Love?
I'm not sure if it necessarily inspired it, but there is a movie that came out quite a few years ago called Because I Said So. It's a Mandy Moore and Diane Keaton movie. I can see a lot of similarities from that movie to Disaster in Love, and it kind of would make a funny book.
Oh, Diane Keaton's always very good, whatever she does. So what made you decide to write a romantic comedy after your first two books, which are romantic suspense?
Well, I'm very sarcastic in nature, I guess would be the easiest way to put it. And anybody who's read my first two books can actually see that. I make little wisecracks in those books, even though they're more serious in nature.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm not really one that would necessarily be committed to one genre because I read a lot of different genres.
Mm-hmm.
So it just seemed natural for me to go ahead and write a different genre. And the next one that kind of flowed in line was Disaster in Love. And I just kind of went where the ideas took me.
Congratulations, you're already receiving some great feedback on Amazon, including my favourite by Erin Thornton so far. This book literally made me laugh out loud funny. I can imagine you sitting there laughing, Erin, while you're writing the scenes of Sam's ever-increasing dating disasters. Did you think to yourself when coming up with ideas, well, that's just too bizarre for a date?
Well, like I said, since they are based on actual events, more so I was thinking people are going to think I'm lying. But I did. I found myself laughing at my own writing, and I figured if I can laugh at myself, I'm sure someone else is going to find this funny too.
Yeah, and probably also going to say, yes, I've been there.
Right, exactly.
Which age group is Disaster in Love aimed at?
Well, Sam is actually in her early 30s, and it's a very relatable book because, as you said, a lot of people readers are going to come in and read and say, wow, I've been there. This date reminds me of this date that I had, or something like that.
Mm.
And so anybody who's ever had a bad date or is in the dating world at all, young or old, it really honestly is aged at the gamut because Sam isn't a college student, and
Sorry.
that's all right. She's aged kind of in the center there, so it kind of plays to any age, any of the age ranges.
I love the cover of Disaster in Love. It's really eye-catching. Did you design it?
I have a vision for all of my covers before I go through the process of building them.
All right.
And I have to send it out to other artists to bring it to life because I am not skilled in computer design in that way. But I I knew I wanted it to have a white backdrop with a single woman on the front because that really pops, and like you said, it's very eye-catching.
Yes.
And I began to go through my thought process, and I'm thinking, what would a woman think would ruin her entire day? I mean, the title of the book is Disaster in Love. What would be an absolute horrific moment for a woman any day of the week? And I went, if she broke her heel. It would be awful. So I said, this is it. So I picked all of the images out, and I sent it out to a designer, and she did a wonderful job of bringing my idea to life.
She certainly had. So you're saying then that you have the book covers in your head before you even start writing?
To some extent, yes. And they grow. So I have a general idea of what I want once I know the title.
You wrote and published 2 books in 2017, Dangerous After Dark and Dangerous Calculations. Would you like to tell Book Talk Radio Club's listeners about them? Let's start with your most recent, Dangerous Calculations, and then we'll go on to Dangerous After Dark.
Sure, that'd be great. Dangerous Calculations is actually the second book in the standalone Dangerous series. Trish is a financial advisor who gets wrapped up in some very shady business with one of her clients. And she has to figure out how to keep her name clean while she's working their books, and they're wanting her to clean their books. So it's very much a mobster feel to it, but it touches on some really popular issues, including eating disorders, things of that nature. And it leaves you wondering who Trish is going to end up with in the end.
Right.
And Dangerous After Dark is actually my debut novel, and it's the first in the Dangerous series. And you don't have to read them in order because they are standalone. Especially if the content may not be to your liking, because After Dark is a sexual assault story, and some people don't necessarily prefer to read that style of writing, and that's fine.
Yeah.
And I wrote them as a standalone, so people could skip around if they wanted to.
Sure.
But it's a series of family characters and a new leading couple in each story. And After Dark is the story of Grace, who is a victim, like I said, of a sexual assault, and her attacker, who left her after being interrupted, comes back to finish what he started. It's a little bit of a darker series, and this series leans really heavy on the suspense side of things, but the romance is very closed door.
I have to ask you, do you prefer writing the comedies or the suspense?
So Disaster in Love is a bit of a fluff book. And I don't know if you can hear that. My child is knocking on my door. My love of reading takes me in so many different ways. And I know as a reader, I get to a point where I have read so much really involved books that I guess you could call it a book hangover. I've heard that term. I use that term regularly.
Yeah, that's good.
And so Disaster in Love, while it works as a reader, in the aspect of being able to kind of, more of a fluff, like I said, a fluff book. It's a book hangover book. It's light, it's funny, it's something to kind of go in between on.
So it's an antidote to your darker stories.
Exactly, and that works for me as a writer. So where I do write my darker stories and I love them and I get so involved in them that I need something to break the mood.
So now you've done the romantic suspense and the romantic comedy. What's next for Erin Thornton, book-wise?
Well, I have another book for the Dangerous series, the third in the series, that's actually on the back burner. But because I got really excited and came up with, and it's like I said, I'm a multi-genre now, and I am doing a reverse harem novel.
A what?
It's a newer genre. It's making headway, and it's becoming really, really big. And I thought it would be really fun, and it's a paranormal. Right. So I'm having a lot of fun kind of branching out a little bit.
Still a romantic book?
Still a romantic book, yes.
So where can Book Talk Radio Club listeners purchase your books, Erin?
My books are available on Amazon and Kindle Unlimited.
Okay, that's lovely. Well, thank you, Erin. That was fascinating. Please come back on Book Talk Radio Club again, and I'd love to chat with you and hear more. In the meantime, good luck for the future and for your new book. And thank you, everyone, for listening to Book Talk Radio Club. Thank you, Erin.
Thank you.